We have 15 devastating weapons to go over as the best guns in Modern Warfare Zombies, including the most meta loadouts for each weapon. And to make sure you don't miss out on any change in the metas for these weapons as the seasons go on, you need to hit that subscribe button. But we're starting out here with one of the best boss fight metas in the entire game right now, the WSP Swarm Akimbo. By now, you have definitely heard of this meta and used it before in Zombies, but it is for good reason, as I believe this is one of the highest damage output weapons in the entire game. And with this build Pack-a-Punch, you get 200 rounds in a single magazine on each of these, meaning you can unload 400 bullets before you need to do a reload, which is absolutely insane. Now, if you're attempting either the Act 4 Worm or the Red Worm solo, then this gun is the ultimate weapon for it, simply due to the amount of damage that you can put in such a short space of time before you need to do a reload. And on solo, I managed to take down the Red Worm with 5 minutes left on the timer, which is something you can never do with any other weapon. And this weapon is also incredibly good for taking out zombies in the high threat zone due to how strong it is. It's also really good at taking out bosses and elites as well. This is definitely the meta when it comes to taking down big worm boss fights over taking down elites, but it's still absolutely viable to use in your game. So running through the loadout here for the WSP Swarm, you want the Akimbo Brace Stock CK. This is what's going to give you that incredible Akimbo, along with the 100 round drum, which allows you to have 200 rounds when Pack-a-Punch, the 9mm high grain rounds, the Reckless 90 long barrel, and the Hipshot L20 laser. And as you can see, the mobility with these and the damage range is just incredible, even with the Akimbo. The next best gun in Modern Warfare Zombies you need to be using is the Lockwood 680 shotgun. Now, a lot of the shotguns in this game are just not that good, but the Lockwood 680 sticks out from the rest by just having the most broken loadout possible, where a specific barrel attachment completely transforms the gun, as it will increase the ammo that you can shoot from the standard 6 rounds to 10 rounds. And when combined with the slug ammunition, this completely transforms the weapon. Now, what makes this weapon so broken is that when you shoot it with the slug attachment, it will actually shoot 10 individual bullets in the air in a circular spread. But then if you ADS, that suddenly becomes one tight shot of 10 bullets together, giving you an insane amount of damage output. Combining this with the triple Pack-a-Punch and legendary rarity, and you're going to be able to one-shot any zombie in tier 3 and easily take down elite bosses like the Manglers and the Mimics and the Mega Abomination extremely quick. But ultimately, this gun needs to be ADS in order to do the incredible damage that you see. So going over the meta loadout, you want to have the Lockwood Defender Heavy Long Barrel, which gives you 10 rounds in a mag instead of 4 or 6. You'll also need to pair it with the 12 gauge slug ammo. You want the Matuzek X-Ray Skeletonized Guard and the Express Light Bolt and the Sword Off mod stock, giving you the ultimate mobility, speed, and fast aiming build. The next OP gun you need to be using is, no surprise, the tier pistols. These have been the meta ever since Modern Warfare Zombies first launched. They got a nerf in Season 1, but not enough of a nerf for them to still be the best guns in the game. There still isn't any weapons that come close to beating these pistols. They are just that good. They take out Mega Abomination super quick. They take out elites really quick. The Dark Ether is a breeze with these. And until these get a serious nerf, I think you should always use these. So jumping into the loadout, you want to make sure that you have the Akimbo rear grip, because these are the best when they're in Akimbo. You want to combine it with the Snake Shot ammunition, the Ool's Fury trigger action so you can shoot the pistols quicker, the ZU's 16 heavy long barrel for the additional damage range, and the pistol laser to make the pistols super accurate. The next meta loadout you should be using in MW Zombies is going to be a Modern Warfare 2 weapon, and that is the PDSW. This is such a surprising underrated SMG in the game because it is really strong straight off the bat. But with the build I'm going to give you, you will spawn in with, at default, 50 bullets in a mag, but when Pack-a-Punched, you get 400 bullets in a single magazine. It only has 2 magazines total, so this is an insane amount of damage output, which is very similar to the WSP Swarm. But the fact that you have so many bullets to use, where you have that incredible damage range, that output, being able to ADS, that makes it super tight, you can just put all 400 bullets into any boss and it will kill them before you need to reload. This thing is so great to run in the tier 3 zone because you are very mobile with it being an SMG. You can just literally hit fire to take out any zombies and dogs in your way. But you are super fast with this weapon as well, so you can use that to your advantage to get as much distance as possible to then be able to keep firing into those elite bosses. And even when it comes to the Act 3 boss fight, this is an extremely fun weapon to use simply for the amount of ammo it has, very similar similar to the WSP Swarm. So for the loadout, you're going to want to run the Bruin Pendulum Muzzle, the FTAC Series IX 14.5 barrel, the AccuShot 5mm laser, the Cronin Mini Pro Optic, and the Hollow Extended Stock. The next OP loadout you should be using in Modern Warfare Zombies is actually a pistol from Modern Warfare 2, and this is the FTAC Siege. Now, in my opinion, when you set this up with the correct loadout and get it to triple pap and legendary, it's almost like having a mini LMG, but with the mobility of an SMG. We start off with 72 bullets in a mag, which is quite a lot, and as you can see, even in the low threat zone, it's pretty good for a pistol. But when it's upgraded, it has 144 bullets in a magazine, and because it's a pistol, you are extremely mobile, but still able to put in an incredible amount of damage, which is really similar, if not equivalent, to the damage you would do with a typical AR or SMG. Now, I have seen some build recommendations where these are ran as akimbo rather than single, but I think this gun is better suited being ran simply on its own. It's just such an insane amount of damage for the fact it's a fully auto pistol. It can take down any zombies in the high threat zone in just a few bullets. It can take down dogs, and it can take down bosses and elites really fast as well. The only downside is that because it's fully automatic and it shoots so fast, you run out of ammo pretty quickly with this weapon, so you'll be visiting the ammo caches fairly regularly. But I'm so surprised at how powerful this pistol can be. Running you through the meta loadout, you want to have the S40H grip underbarrel, the 72 round drum magazine, the Ratchet B barrel, the 1mW pistol laser, and the Siege wire stock. Now, I don't think a lot of you would have expected this to be put on the top 15 best weapons, but the VR11 Wonder Weapon added in Season 1 is undoubtedly the best Wonder Weapon in the game, and is so good that you can use this on its own to take out bosses. By default, the gun's ability is to transform zombies into humans and humans into zombies, but if you get this thing to triple pack-a-punch, you can use this to take out bosses extremely quick in the high threat zone and in the dark ether. Combine that with the ability that this gun has to repair any vehicle and to refuel it, it has multiple purposes whilst also being an incredible boss destroyer. The only downside is you can only get this weapon from the mystery box if you're extremely lucky, or from a wonder weapon case that can drop from the Act 4 worm or the red worm. Another OP gun you should be using in Modern Warfare Zombies is the Longbow. Most of the sniper rifles in the game for zombies are okay, but not amazing. But when it comes to the Longbow, not only is it really good, but it's really fun to use. And anyone that's done the grind for Borealis will recognize that this is a really fun weapon to use when you have it in the correct loadout. With this build from the very get-go, it has 40 bullets in a magazine before it needs a reload, and it can one-shot zombies in tier 1 no problem whatsoever. It also has a really fast fire rate compared to most snipers, but it's when you take this into the high threat zone when it's triple papped, you can have a lot of fun. Pack-a-punch, the gun now has 60 bullets in a magazine, which for a sniper rifle is just frankly unheard of. Pairing this with Deadshot Daiquiri, it will one-shot any normal zombie, two-shot any armored zombie, and it's really good at taking down bosses. The one thing where it struggles a little bit is when it comes to taking out those elite bounties, where the power just isn't quite there. But for taking out zombies, this thing is incredible because you can run around and you can hip fire this, which again you shouldn't be able to do with a sniper, but you can do this with relative ease, which makes you feel like you're using an assault rifle that's just got the fire rate set to single fire. So for the Longbow, the loadout you're going to want to use is the Pro 99 long barrel, the SL Razorhawk laser, the 40 round magazine, the slate reflector optic, and the SAM quick bolt. Another OP weapon you should be using in Modern Warfare Zombies is the BAS-B battle rifle. This weapon is really fun to use inside of MW3 Zombies because it feels like you're using a beefier version of an assault rifle. However, this thing is not going to be a boss destroyer. It's really good and consistent at taking out lots of zombies quickly in tier 3 with this weapon, but when it comes to taking out bosses, it will take them out pretty well, but not always in the fastest speed that you'd want. But due to it being a battle rifle, it can put out a fair amount of damage with every shot, which is really important. Jumping into the build, you want to run the VT7 Spitfire suppressor, the Bruin Venom long barrel, the overpressured ammunition, the 45 round magazine, and no stock for that increased mobility. Now, a loadout that no zombies players use in Modern Warfare Zombies that is actually really good is the shotgun attachment on any assault rifle. This is the Corvus Master Key underbarrel, and I don't know why it's balanced like this, but this is genuinely one of the best shotguns to to use in the game, and it's an attachment. By default, you only have 4 shots, but when you pack-a-punch this, you'll then get 4 of 16. And as you can see in the tier 3 zone, this is one-shotting any zombie, and it is capable of stopping the laser on the abomination pretty quickly. Purely from a damage point of view, this is actually a really useful underbarrel to use, but it's just the fact that you only have 4 shots in a clip before you have to reload. The reload is pretty slow, but it is actually feasible to kill a mega abomination with this attachment, and it actually does a decent amount of damage. So if for whatever reason you're running an assault rifle that doesn't have the 5 attachment slots used, you might have 1 spare, I definitely recommend putting the Corvus Master Key on, as it's just an additional little shotgun attachment that is actually really good. The next OP weapon you need to use in Modern Warfare Zombies is the RGL-80. Now, since the game's launch, we've known that this has been a really powerful weapon to use, but especially with the new Dark Ether area, which is so much more close quarters than any other area in Modern Warfare Zombies so far. This is so powerful at being able to take out zombies extremely quickly as soon as you see them. Combining this with PhD Flopper, you don't even need to think or have any skill required to be able to kill zombies with this thing. You can just be spamming away, and it will always be able to get you out of a tight corner in both the main zombies map and the Dark Ether. And the beauty of this is because it's a launcher, there are no attachments, so you can just bring it in regardless of the level that you've got it to, and you can immediately start just taking everything out with absolute ease. And when combined with Speed Cola, you're going to get super fast reloads. You can just be running around using this infinitely. The next weapon you should be using in Modern Warfare Zombies is a solid assault rifle, the MCW. Out of all the assault rifles in the game, this one is definitely up there in the top 3 as the best to run inside of zombies, because it is so solid when it comes to damage, ammo, and mobility. Now, with the build I'm going to give you in this video, you're going to have up to 120 bullets in a magazine when pack-a-punched, which is by no means a small amount of ammo for an assault rifle. Combining this with perks like Deadshot Daiquiri, you're going to be able to put in an incredible amount of damage into the zombies with relative ease. So jumping into the build, you're going to want to run the Sakin Tread 40 muzzle, the XRK Edge BW4 hand underbarrel, the 60-round drum magazine, the Mark III reflector, and the RB Rapid Strike rear grip. But in my opinion, the best assault rifle that you should use in Modern Warfare Zombies is the SVA. This is without question the highest damage assault rifle combined with the best mobility, being an all-round fantastic weapon for taking out zombies, bosses, and bounties with ease. But not only that, but it's also one of the ARs that I would recommend you use against the Red Worm boss. The weapon really is a jack of all trades. So for the loadout, you're going to want to run the FSOLEV laser, the XRK Edge BW4 underbarrel, the 60-round magazine, the Citadel grip, and no stock for that increased mobility. Now, I never expected a melee weapon to be up there with some of the best weapons in MW Zombies, but the Tonfa is without question the best melee weapon in the game and a top 15 weapon that you should use. What sets the Tonfa apart from any other melee weapon is just how fast you can chain melee attacks. The speed that the Tonfa hits is absolutely insane, and even when it's not pack-a-punched with a rarity, it is very strong against any bosses and bounties. But when you triple pack it with a legendary rarity, it is just absolutely insane. The amount of damage that this does lets you one-hit practically most zombies, and the speed is just like nothing I've ever seen before. Now, even though it's a melee weapon, the game will still count it as a weapon where you can put a ammo mod on it. So you can have something like Shatter Blast. This is going to be incredibly powerful to use in the high threat zone, and you can even take out mega abominations with it. Now, do I advise you to do this? Absolutely not. It is pretty dangerous to do this, but the amount of damage that this does and the speed of it as well is just something that you never ever see. It is unbelievable. Now, you can use other melee weapons in the game, but to me, the Tonfa is simply the best because of just how fast it is. The next meta loadout I suggest you use in Modern Warfare Zombies is an MW2 weapon, the M13B. It is a really strong assault rifle to use in the game, dealing a fantastic amount of damage while also being incredibly mobile and having really good damage range. It's really good for taking out zombies, dogs, and armored zombies in the tier 3 zone extremely quickly, but I wouldn't advise you to have this solely if you were going to try and do bounties, because it's just not very strong, unfortunately. Jumping into the loadout, you want to run the 14-inch Bruin Echelon barrel, the FTAC Ripper 56 underbarrel, the 60-round magazine, the Slimline Pro optic, and the Bruin Flash V4 stock. stock. And to finish it off with the 15th weapon that you should use in Modern Warfare Zombies, this is going to be the new XRK Stalker sniper added in Season 1. This sniper hits like a train when it comes to zombies in the high threat zone, being able to one-hit zombies, two-hit heavy armored zombies, and the benefits of this is that it has incredible damage over range, delivering a lot more damage per shot than the other sniper rifle options in the game, but you only have a max of 20 bullets in a mag. And when it comes to taking out bosses, especially the Mega Abomination, this weapon is incredibly strong. It will stop the laser attack from the Abomination within its first or second shot. It is just extremely powerful. And when paired with Deadshot Daiquiri, it just makes this weapon a downright menace against the zombies. The only downside to this sniper rifle is that it cannot be hip fired. You have to be ADSing constantly in order to deliver the damage that you're seeing. But when Pack-a-Punched, it has well over 200 bullets, so you will have a ton of ammo to use with this weapon, which is a really good thing. But it's very consistent at taking out zombies as well as bosses and even the Stormcaller. And you know a weapon's good when I recommend it against Stormcaller. So jumping into the build, you want the Handler LKP short barrel, the FSS OLEV laser, the DF105 reflex sight, the XRK Stalker light bolt, and the 10-round magazine. If there's any OP weapons that I missed in this video, please let me know down below in the comments so we can share it with the community. Any builds that you do enjoy, be sure to let me know by liking and subscribing.